would like to welcome you to Inspire to Rewire, the podcast that invites you to question everything, to challenge the status quo and rediscover the power within you, to create the life that you truly deserve. My name is Sharona Sinvani, and in each episode, we dive into transformative conversations that will inspire you to break free from old patterns, expand your mindset, and unlock your limitless potential. Everything from unveiling the hidden truth about society to exploring new perspectives. This podcast is your gateway to living life on your own terms. So whether you're looking to elevate your career, heal from past wounds, broaden your outlook, or transform your mindset, this is the space where growth happens. If you're ready to embrace change and step into your power and become the best version of yourself, I invite you to join me on Inspire to Rewire. Hi, all beloved, lovely souls out there. I would like to welcome you back to another episode of Inspire to Rewire. Today's episode, I want to dedicate to all the sensitive souls out there. For those who feel very deeply and love fiercely and absorb the emotions of others more than they actually realize. If you're an empath, I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. You carry the weight of the world around with you, often without even realizing it. And when you walk into a room, you can instantly pick up the energy. And when you hear someone speak, you can actually feel what they're feeling in your own body. And you want to try to help, but sometimes it feels like you are losing yourself in the process of helping someone else. Today, I want to dive deep into how empaths can do an emotional detox. How can we let go of what isn't ours? How can we reclaim our energetic boundaries and move through the world without abandoning ourselves in the process? I want to start with a basic question. What is an empath? How do you define that? How do you know if you're an empath? So an empath is someone who is deeply sensitive to the emotions and energies of others. You can feel what others feel, whether it's joy or sadness or anxiety or even anger. And sometimes that energy can become so intertwined with your own that it's hard to tell where your emotions end and someone else's begin. As an empath, you may find yourself constantly absorbing the energy of the people around you, whether it's your family, friends, colleagues, or even strangers. You might actually walk into a room and feel the tension before anyone says a word. You might listen to someone else's troubles and to their pain, and it becomes your pain. You might feel physically drained after interacting with certain people, as if their emotional weight is now yours to carry. But here is the thing I want you to understand. This is not your burden to bear. You are not meant to carry other people's emotional baggage. It's one thing to be compassionate and offer support, but it's another thing to entirely absorb the energy of others and make it your own. I think this is where emotional boundaries come into play, and where you can begin the process of actually detoxifying emotions that isn't yours and setting up healthy, energetic boundaries. Just because me, myself, I'm an empath, I feel a lot that other people are feeling, and that has often taken me to places where I feel a lot of responsibility for others. Sometimes I feel more responsibility for others than I have noticed that they feel for themselves. And that has been depleting me in more ways than one. And I've been sometimes very tired. In the beginning, I didn't even know how to navigate in this. I didn't even know what I was feeling and why I was feeling what I was feeling. It took me some time to come to these understandings. And the more I understood it, the more I was able to know what was happening and what was going on. Have you ever sat next to someone or, been in someone's presence and you start to feel emotions that all of a sudden you weren't feeling a minute or a second ago? Or maybe you start to have thoughts, or your mind starts to run 1,000 miles per hour, and you weren't even in that state of mind a minute ago. This has happened to me, and I thought, I thought this was me. I thought, this was something was happening within me. But I learned after some time that I was picking up other people's energy. And the more I learned about this, the more I could understand that I feel people and feel what they're going through. And sometimes you can even feel people better than they feel themselves. As an empath, I think it's such a big importance to know what's going on so you can protect yourself and nurture yourself within situations that might be overwhelming for you at times. I want us to talk about how we release what doesn't belong to us. I think the first step in emotional detox is actually recognizing when something is no longer yours to carry. Because the emotions of others might feel heavy or even overwhelming. But I need you to understand that they are not your responsibility. Other people's state of mind is not your responsibility. I had to learn this. Sometimes you feel more responsibility for others people's suffering than they actually feel for themselves. And you can't be responsible for someone that doesn't want to take responsibility for themselves. The only person you owe anything towards is yourself. I am a person, I will never stop helping people, but I'm not going to do it any longer to the point where it drains me or completely depletes me. I have done that so many times, and the universe kept showing me and showing me and showing me time after time these lessons that was sent to me. And, I ended up in situations, in relationships that I had, and I was sometimes disappointed and frustrated and stuff like that. But once I came to realize there is no one outside of me that I can be disappointed at except myself, because this is showing me something. So these situations shows me something that I need to heal or become better at inside of me, as everything is within all the time. I want to give you simple ways to identify when you have absorbed someone else's energy. Do you suddenly feel anxious without any clear reasons? If you left a company, you've been with a friend or partner, family member, whatever it might be, how do you feel afterwards? Do you feel heavy? Do you feel dense? Or are you feeling tired or drained after maybe a conversation on the phone or an interaction with someone? It can be a stranger, it can be a person in the gym or on the way home, or a friend, or whatever it might be. Are your emotions fluctuating in ways that you don't feel like your usual self? Or do you feel just unbalanced? If you said yes to any of these, it's possible that you have absorbed someone else's emotions. And here is the beautiful part. You have the power to actually release them. Once you understand that these emotions aren't yours, you can detoxify and cleanse your energy field from them. One of my favorite techniques for releasing absorbed emotions is actually when I shower and I say to myself, I release any energy and emotions that is not mine. I use sage to clear the energy field and clear my home. You can also do breath of release. If you want it, we can try it together right now. So you take a deep breath in and you hold it for a moment. And exhale, releasing energy, any energy that is not yours. Imagine it leaving your body. As long as you have a intuition, or intention behind what you're doing, Just trust. Your soul knows. Once again, you're so much more powerful than you think that you are. So imagine these emotions or energies leaving your body and dissolving into the air. Repeat this process as many times as you need until you feel yourself becoming lighter. So no matter if it's you standing in the shower and, having the intention that the energy and emotions are, the water is washing it away from you. As you say, I release any energy and emotion that is not mine. There are certain powerful practices that you can do, and grounding is one of them as well. And I love to ground myself when the weather presents itself, or that's something I try to do as often as I can when the weather allows me to do so here in Sweden. But when you feel yourself overwhelmed or out of sync, simply place your feet on the ground and close your eyes and visualize roots growing from the soles of your feet into the earth. Feel the stability and energy of the earth below you, pulling any excess energy from your body, leaving you feeling balanced and centered. I think that one thing that is important for people who take in a lot from the world around you, to actually set a daily intention. So every morning as you wake up, take a moment to set the intention that only your energy is allowed to stay with you. You can say something like, I honor and protect my energy, and I release what is not mine, and I choose to keep my energy clear and focus on my own well-being. Because by setting intentions daily, and once you do it repeatedly, and frequently, it's going to become a habit, and the intention is going to become stronger and stronger behind it, as well as the belief. And you're going to begin to create a habit of energetic self-care. And that will empower you to maintain your emotional boundaries. We need to, the more we get to know ourselves and understand ourselves, we can create new habits that is actually beneficial towards us and serves us in a very good way for our own well-being. I know that empaths often struggle with boundaries because we're so used to giving, supporting, and caring for others. But let me tell you something important. It's okay to say no. Every time you want to say no to someone else, but chooses to say yes, you actually say no to yourself. I can't stress this enough. You are the number one person you should take care of. You are the number one person you should show up for. You are not here to... You're not responsible for anyone else. You're responsible for you. It's a beautiful thing to serve people out there and help other people. I think that's a great attribute and trait, and we all should do it. But it shouldn't be where it, totally drains you. And you also have to learn to live in balance with life, to not only give and give and give. I know myself, I've been very much of a giver in my life, so it's been very easy for me to give, but I've been having difficulties of receiving. That's something I really had to, learn. It was an eye-opener once I understood that. And then I had to peel layers of it because it was such a hardwire program or belief in me to receive. It was very hard for me to receive. And when I couldn't receive from people, I also had a very difficult time to receive from the universe. The universe couldn't give me blessings because I was blocking my own blessings of receiving. And I was giving and giving, and I had moments where I was drained. And the number one person I understood that I need to give to is towards myself. The number one person I need to help and support is myself. And when I'm solid, grounded, balanced, I can give, but without it leading to me pouring myself into someone else where I don't have anything else left to pour into myself. It's okay to protect your own energy, to actually take a step back when you feel overwhelmed, and to take time for yourself. Boundaries are not walls. They're actually lines of respect, both for yourself and others. So when you set boundaries, you're actually teaching the world how to treat you. So my question for you is, how would you feel if you no longer carried the emotional weight of others? Imagine what it would feel like to have space for your own feelings and your own dreams and your own energy. Would you feel lighter, maybe more free and more authentic? The truth is that empaths often fear setting boundaries because it will make us seem selfish or that we will actually disappoint others. This couldn't be more far from the truth. I think in fact, actually, when you honor your own boundaries, you are teaching others to do the same. And the people who can't honor your boundaries and feel disappointed or want to pull you back to how you were before, I don't think that's your people. People should clap for you because you're setting up boundaries that is healthy for you, no matter if it doesn't serve them the way they want to anymore. If your friends and family or the people you have around you isn't supporting you in the best way, shape, or form that you are putting up for your own life or your own well-being, I think you should actually take a look at that. Because if people can't understand you and you're out here understanding other people all the time, what does that tell you? It's so important that you protect yourself, and I hope that you have a support system around you that supports that you want to protect yourself. So how do we reclaim our energetic boundaries? One thing I do every morning when I meditate is that I visualize myself in a protective shield around me. I imagine a bubble of light that surrounds me and keeps out unwanted energies. And you can also use mantras and affirmations, like I'm grounded in my energy and I release what is not mine. Any energy and emotion that is not mine, I release it. I think it's also important to reassess relationships. Are there people in your life who are constantly draining your energy? There's a lot of energy thieves out there. And I don't think people are doing this intentionally. I think a lot of things that people are doing is unintentionally because I think that people are very unaware of themselves. That's why it's a reason, an even bigger reason for you to set boundaries for yourself and have people around who respect your boundaries and doesn't push them. Sometimes it's a good thing to reassess and decide where to focus your energy, to look around at the people you have around you. Are these relationships serving you or are they draining you? Can they support you in your journey where you are at right now? Can they understand it? Or, do they feel some type of way about it? Communication is key. It's so important to be able to communicate in an honest, authentic way. I really want to emphasize how boundaries are not about shutting people out. They're actually about making sure that you're able to show up for others without losing yourself in the process. And that's something that you should support in people around you too. I want to touch bases a little bit on how we move through the world without abandoning ourselves. Because as empaths, we often feel deeply for others. We want to help. I think it's important to remember that helping doesn't mean giving away your own peace, energy, or clarity. As soon as I see someone suffering or having a hard time, like it's such a natural thing for me, immediately just to, I want, help, or how can I support, or what can I do? I help people without them even having to ask me for help. I want everyone to be happy. I want everyone to be good. And it took some time for me to learn how to understand that I don't want it to be done on the expense of myself. Here, I want to give some practices that I've done myself and I practice in my life. I often check in with myself. It has been a tremendous help or tool for me to check in with myself and just, quiet down all the noise and actually check in how I feel. And before stepping into a situation, whether it's a conversation or an event or a social gathering, just take a moment and check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What emotions are you carrying? And are you centered in your own energy, or are you already feeling drained? By checking in with yourself first, you can decide how much emotional space you have to give and whether it's okay to take on the energy of others at that moment. It's always about getting to know and understanding yourself more. And here is the secret that I think we as empaths often overlook. You are not obligated to take on the energy of others just because you feel it. You're allowed to protect your own peace, and it's okay to step back and recenter yourself when you need to. We are all here going through different journeys and different processes. And learning to navigate through the journey is sometimes just a challenge in itself. And I know that stepping into a deeper understanding of oneself, understanding the spiritual part of you can often be overwhelming. It's healing, it's understanding who you are, getting to know yourself, understanding self-love, understanding the most important relationship you have, which is with yourself, getting to know your mind. That can be very stressful. So I know that this can be sometimes feel like a very hard uphill battle, but I can assure you that things get easier with time. And don't stress. Just take things in your own time, in your own pace. Move with grace and nurture yourself on the way and take care of yourself. You are the most important person in your life right now. Not right now, you will always be. No matter, if you have a partner or kids, you need to take care of you first, always. Always and forever. The better you take care of you, the better you are capable of taking care of others, people around you. You are always going to be obligated to protect yourself and to love yourself and respect yourself. And the boundaries you set for yourself is, the boundaries you can set for others. How you treat yourself is going to be a reflection outwards. People are going to feel that in your energy field. People are going to feel you and how you are towards yourself. And you deserve nothing but the best. Don't think anything less than that. As I wrap up today's episode, I really want to remind you of something important. I want you to understand that you are not responsible for carrying the weight of the world. No matter what you see and how much that is going on. Understand this, the world is a reflection of our internal state. People are suffering. The only thing we can do, the most responsible thing we can do as individuals is take our own responsibility in our own healing. And you are not responsible for anyone else except yours. You can help people, you can support people, you can guide people, you can do all of these things and love people on the way. But other people are not your responsibility. You should not suffer of the expense of someone else's peace. You are here to shine and to live in your own truth and to protect the precious energy that is uniquely yours. So take a moment today and just check in with yourself. Ask yourself, what emotions am I carrying that aren't mine? And remember that it's okay to let them go. Cut cords. Release energy that doesn't belong to you. I want to thank you for joining me on this emotional detox journey. And I hope that this has given you some tips or tricks or tools that you might be able to use, or even giving you a better understanding sometimes of why you feel what you're feeling and what you're going through. And if this episode spoke to you, I would love for you to share it with someone who needs it. Your support means the world to me, and it helps us reach more souls who need to hear this message. Until next time, I would love for you to protect your energy and honor your own boundaries. And remember, you are enough just as you are. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Namaste. Thank you all for taking the time to listen to this episode of Inspired to Rewire. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please take a moment to rate and review the podcast. It truly helps us to reach more incredible listeners just like you. I have more listeners every month than I have subscribers, and having more subscribers helps me invest more time into creating content for this podcast. So if you haven't already, I'd be so grateful if you would subscribe to the channel. As many of you already know, I believe in an I and I unity, so let's come together and create a better world for all of us. Thank you for tuning in on another episode, and until next time, keep growing, keep evolving, and keep rewiring your mindset. Namaste.